we're sitting here talking, I finally have my lash boss, Sia, here with me. And not only is she a lash boss, she's a wife, she's a mom, she's her own entrepreneur. She's also a teacher. I love the fact that you're an educator and you try to spread the wealth and you do not keep it to yourself. I promised Anchor that I would make sure that this was a good one because it's very important for me, not just to highlight our men, because I've been doing a lot of that lately, but to highlight our women and our women who are doing things, not really so the right way, because her way, but doing things in a way that's just upstanding and like for other young ladies to look up to and be a role model to. So I appreciate you for that. Yes, of course. And you always show so much love. You get a lot of credit. So so tell me, how did you, first of all, you're in her new studio. I wish that I could just do it 360 really quickly. How did you what made you start? Or just say I want to take the jump, because what were you doing previously before this?
So previously, before jumping into the lash world, I was actually working at a doctor's office. And I was there for 8 years. And I'm not going to say I didn't like the medical field, because I did, but it just didn't fit with my life.
Yeah.
The hours, the demands, all that kind of stuff just didn't fit with my life and my family. So I actually picked up lashing thinking it was going to be an additional service to doing hair.
Oh.
Because I've been licensed to do hair since 2005.
I was about to say, okay, because I remember you doing that a little bit after high school.
So I did that. So I just thought it was going to be an add-on service. I didn't think that it would take off the way it did. So people ask me all the time, how did you get started? How did you? But I really think that it just happened. You know,
If someone chose you.
It just kind of chose me. That's the best way to put it. It just kind of chose me. And
that's what I mean.
And so I just went with it, and every single time I wanted to, I started at home.
I remember.
Then,
I was one of the first.
I don't know why people were okay with that. It was so dark down there, but they trusted me and they came, and I did that for maybe a year and a half. Then I got my first little studio at Salon Plaza, and every time I would just kind of outgrow where I was, and then I just, where the demand was, I just elevated it.
And now we are.
And now we're here.
And this is just so amazing. So, you also educate.
I do.
And that is something that takes a lot of patience.
Yeah.
And I know that being a mom and a wife probably helps with that a whole lot.
Yeah.
Let me make sure that hold on, wait, let me make sure this is down. So, how do you balance? And I'll get back into the other part, the educating part.
Yeah, I will say, lucky for me, I do have a very supportive husband. Shout out to my husband. He actually paid for my lash class.
Oh,
so it is thanks to him that I even got into all of this.
You know what? And that's my sandbox. So we go back a long time. And I love the way y'all love. I love your whole family. I love everything.
I just really think that having his support is probably the biggest piece to it, because sometimes we have that mom guilt. I get that mom guilt a lot.
Yes.
I had it earlier today, and I was FaceTiming my daughter because I just missed her. You're in, this isn't a 9 to 5. This is from first client to last client. And so sometimes I have that mom guilt, but knowing that he can kind of pick up where I can't. So today my daughter had tumbling classes, and I can't take her. He took her. So I feel better that she's not missing out on what she needs to do because mommy's at work.
Exactly.
So I say all that to say that I'm able to teach and do all of those things just according to the fact that I have that help and that support from him.
Yeah,
and my parents help a lot too.
But what you said, it started with love. He invested in you, and that is very important. That within a marriage, that you're feeding into each other, even if that's not something that you might believe in. It's still well, let me just go ahead and support her in this, and just see where it goes, because that's where the magic lifts off.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's very important for success. Is that you need a village, and a lot of times it's the people who are directly behind you, like your husband or your mom or your parents or your mom or your dad. And that's just so beautiful. We are so lucky to have awesome families.
Absolutely.
We definitely have that.
I don't know where I would be without them.
So what made you start your own, wanting to educate? Because I know you said that's kind of fed into it, but what's the, now, because you're may I say that she's always booked and busy. I have to book 3 weeks in advance. Matter of fact, I forgot to do my refill for my birthday. Please get me in there. But,
I will.
But she's always booked and busy. And then, like you said, you have the kids, and it takes a lot of balance. So for me to say, okay, now I want to now I want to teach people.
Yeah.
You know.
That also kind of came a little naturally. I, would post my work on social media and things like that, and I would just have people hit me up and be like, do you teach? Do you teach? And, can you show me how you do this? Or they would just ask me, like maybe they were already trained and they would just ask me questions like, how do you make your sets look so full and you're only doing classic lashes and not volume lashes? And I would like share my tips and tricks, and then it just kind of like, I was like, maybe I could just put a curriculum together or something where I could start teaching people just kind of what I know. Honestly, I never stopped learning myself. I think that is a big misconception.
Yes, you never stop.
That just because you take one lash course, it ends there, you're going to know everything. That is the absolute wrongest thing you could ever think. There's going to be a constant research. There's new things coming out all the time. People think lashing is just lashing. It's really not. It's a big deal.
It is huge because I don't feel human without lashes. Like, I don't feel like me. I don't have to have a manicure. I don't have to have a pedicure, but I have to have my lashes.
Have to have your lashes.
I have to have my lashes.
Yeah.
So that's also super dope. And you also work with like she spreads the love. She spreads the love like all around 360 full circle because she also works with other people that we may know that are entrepreneurs too, and make sure that she's supportive in that avenue.
Shout out to Jessica.
Yay! Yes, that's my boo. And I would like to say I had a little bit of magic in that. 'Cause I'm like, you know what? She does lashes, you do that. You should just go ahead and go. That'll be perfect. And I just, man, that's just so awesome. Like, so. It takes a lot to have a big heart, and I only say that because it's not, it's very rare. It's not a common thing. And we were talking about that previously behind the scenes, basically saying that, showing love for people is really hard because it's to help to see someone else win. And for you, it just comes like, second nature.
I always say this because people always say, like if someone hits you up on Instagram and they're asking you questions like, how do you do this or how do you do that? Why do you just give them information? Why are you sharing your tips and tricks? For me, I don't see it like that. I have never missed any money from sharing any tips. I have never missed money from referring a client that I couldn't take because I was booked and I referred them to someone else. I've never missed money. I'm always blessed.
So. And then the things keep happening, and that is the key, people. The key is also just knowing that my blessings will continue as long as I'm making sure that I'm feeding into others. That is very important. Sharing love is how you get love. And when you just want to see everyone win, like just genuinely, not to say, okay, I'm going to get something, because you usually don't get rewarded from the people that you bless. It's usually your blessings come from somewhere else. So like, I super appreciate you for even like taking the time to just sit here with me. But I love you, Sia. I think you're like super awesome, and she's super beautiful. And if you are in town, how can they find? Oh, you know what? No, I want to know about if you have any other. Sorry about that, guys. Any other upcoming classes coming up or anything like that?
So the way I'm doing my classes right now, it's pretty much one-on-one private classes because I don't believe in having huge classes. I just don't think that students get the most out of that. So anybody who's interested in taking a class with me, they just have to hit me up. They can email me, DM me on Instagram. They can Facebook message me. They can text me, contact me. And you can book whatever day works for you. As long as my day's available. Whatever day works.
I mean, when she says that, I mean, y'all better just know that if you hit her today, don't expect 3 weeks or 4 weeks out minimum. I'm not sure how long it takes, but that is super dope. So now, how can they find you and all that good stuff? Like, are you just on IG? Give them your info.
So I am on Instagram at Eyelash by Sia. Also on Facebook, Eyelash by Sia.
So everything is Eyelash by Sia.
Everything is Eyelash by Sia. Email eyelashbycia@yahoo.com. That's the best way.
And then the best way to also book appointments, she makes it super awesome, totally convenient for you. You just hit book on Instagram, and I'm sure everyone on here has an Instagram. If you have a YouTube, you definitely have an Instagram. So again, shout out to all the mom bosses. Shout out to all the wives holding it down, because that takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy. So I appreciate you for being the queen that you are and leading by example, because you also have 2 beautiful girls too. And I'm sure they're just so proud of you. And
I hope so.
Yeah, they are.
Because everything is for them.
Yeah, everything is for them. And like, everything is for our kids. So woohoo! All right, so y'all know what to do. Like, follow, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. And yeah, peace again to you until I'm magical. Bye, y'all. Okay, now we are done on Anchor 2. Okay, see? 10 minutes.
What is Anchor 2?
Anchor. I gotta make sure. Come on, Anchor. Stop playing with me.
Oh, is it like live?
It's not. This is not live.
Okay.
No. Anchor is also just a
I need to have bloopers.
Bloop.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm all coughing, and I have like this bad cough that I cannot seem to get rid of, and it's really driving me crazy. But anyway, now that